Have you ever experienced the excitement of complete freedom? Making your own rules, eating whatever you want, and waking up whenever you want? As a senior, living alone can be empowering. However, it also has unspoken hidden difficulties. What happens if you fall and no one is there to help you up? The reality is that being alone isn't always what we expect, and loneliness can creep in before you ever realize it. Here's the good news, though. You may accept it, get ready for it, and even flourish in it. These 10 facts about living alone as an older adult are revealed today, along with advice on how to handle them confidently. You'll learn useful techniques to maximize your freedom, from unforeseen challenges to unexpected pleasures. And stay tuned until the very end, because we're going to share one incredible habit that can entirely change your experience of living alone, making it more secure, content, and joyful than ever. Let's begin. Your own emergency is you. Make a backup. Imagine this. The evening is calm. Suddenly, you lose your equilibrium while reaching for something on the top shelf. You fall to the floor. There is silence in the room. Nobody is available to assist. You are your own safety net when you live alone, but you also get independence. If you call out, no one will hear you, and nobody will come check on you in the morning. Additionally, this can be risky for elderly people. The most common cause of injuries among senior citizens is falls. Actually, 1 in 4 seniors over 65 experience a fall every year. A lot of them can't get up by themselves. Although the idea is disconcerting, there are easy ways to be safe. Always have your phone close at hand. Put a phone stand in strategic locations or use a crossbody phone cover. Purchase a medical alert gadget. Numerous smartwatches automatically alert emergency contacts when they detect falls. Create a plan for emergency access. When necessary, trusted family members can enter using a digital smart lock or key lockbox. It wasn't until she stumbled over a loose rug that Margaret, 74, realized she needed a smartwatch. Her daughter called to see how she was doing after receiving an alarm from her watch. Margaret claims that she feels safer and more self-reliant than before. It's easy to become lonely. Before I discovered I hadn't spoken to anyone in 3 days, I believed I preferred being by myself. Loneliness affects even introverts. Living alone may initially feel liberating. You are at peace and have your own place. But eventually, the quiet may become too much to bear. Many elderly people go days without having a meaningful conversation. Lack of small talk, such as, "Did you hear about the neighbor?" or "What's for dinner?" can lead to feelings of loneliness that can affect one's physical and emotional well-being. So, how do you manage to stay in touch? Plan on checking in every day or every week. A quick video call or text message saying "Good morning" has a big impact. Participate in a social activity that suits your disposition. You can stay involved by joining book clubs, walking groups, or even a virtual coffee talk. Think about getting a pet. Cats and dogs provide routine, company, and even encouragement to maintain an active lifestyle. John, 78, called his best friend for coffee in the morning. They check in every morning, sometimes for 5 minutes and other times for an hour. It is a minor habit that prevents loneliness. The strain of housekeeping increases. Took an hour to mow the lawn at 50. It's all day and a hurting back at 75. You are in charge of everything when you live alone, including repairing a leaking sink and cleaning gutters. Previously straightforward small tasks can now feel draining. Many seniors end up putting off chores because they just lack the stamina, not because they don't care. However, delaying merely exacerbates the situation. Create a seasonal maintenance schedule for your house. To prevent tasks from piling up, divide them into monthly checklists. Get assistance before you really need it. Dealing with a major home repair is much more difficult than hiring a handyman twice a year. Think about cutting back. Less maintenance, less expenses, and more time to enjoy life are all benefits of a smaller home. Although Linda, 80, found yard work difficult, she didn't want to put her family through any hardship. She now saves her energy for things she truly enjoys by hiring help twice a year to handle the heavy lifting. It's a fresh chapter to live alone. Be sure you are ready. Although living alone as a senior has certain difficulties, It may also be one of the most rewarding experiences of your life if you have the proper attitude, habits, and safety precautions. The largest lifestyle shifts you'll encounter while living alone are covered next, along with tips on how to take advantage of them. Remain with us.
Everyday existence.
When you live alone, what changes? Home maintenance is just another chore to complete when you're younger. However, minor chores might become daunting as you become older. Before they begin to feel the strain, many seniors are unaware of the amount of physical work involved in home maintenance. It can be dangerous and taxing to carry large laundry baskets, climb a ladder to clear the gutters, or even change a ceiling light bulb. Additionally, a home that is more stressful than pleasant may result from the accumulation of these chores. Here's the problem, though. It's not necessary for you to work alone. Make a schedule for maintenance. To prevent feeling overburdened, divide work into tiny, achievable steps. Put safety first. Steer clear of jobs that need you to climb, lift heavy objects, or stand for extended periods of time. Bring in assistance instead. For seasonal maintenance, hire a handyman. Consider it an investment in your mental and physical well-being. For instance, the 80-year-old Linda found it difficult to stay on top of home upkeep. She employed a handyman twice a year to take care of the larger tasks rather than enduring fatigue. She can now concentrate on appreciating her house rather than keeping it up. Your daily schedule becomes into your fulcrum. You have complete freedom when you live alone. That independence, however, might occasionally feel more like emptiness. There is no common routine, no one to remind you when lunch is time, no informal morning discussions, and no impromptu adventures when you don't have a spouse or family nearby. Time may seem slower and less significant when days begin to blur together. However, routines can provide your life direction and structure, particularly if they incorporate enjoyable and meaningful activities. Begin your day with purpose. A gratitude diary, a little stroll, or a favorite song might help set the tone for a good day. Assign a theme to every day. You should go food shopping on Monday, try a new meal on Wednesday, and talk to a loved one on the phone on Friday. Include social gatherings in your daily schedule. Plan weekly excursions, even if it's simply to stop by a nearby cafe for coffee. For instance, Jim, 74, felt trapped in the same pattern. He began including one new activity each week, such as calling an old acquaintance, going for walks in a different park, or touring a new area of town. He feels more a part of the world now than he did before. It can seem like a chore to cook for only one person. Making a meal for yourself can seem meaningless after years of cooking for a family. The lack of desire to cook causes many older persons to adopt unhealthy eating patterns, such as missing meals, depending on frozen food, or eating the same thing every day. Food is more than just fuel, though. It's a self-care action. Ways to make cooking fun and simple. Cooked in batches. Make bigger servings and store individual meals in the freezer. More variety, less effort. Single-pot dinners. Stir-fries, casseroles, and soups offer the most nourishment with the least amount of work. Make it social. Take a cooking lesson in your community or have a buddy over for dinner. For instance, the 76-year-old Mary became aware that she was consuming too many processed foods. She adopted a cook once, eat 3 times approach, preparing meals that she could savor all week long without having to put in daily work. Although living alone can be very rewarding, there is a learning curve. Finding little pleasures in daily life, creating habits that work for you, and planning ahead are the keys. Next up is how to avoid loneliness and maintain social connections even when you live alone. Keep an eye out. The unanticipated pleasures of solitude. The ability to create your own days. Imagine not having an alarm clock, eating breakfast whenever you choose, and planning your day however you see fit. Complete independence with no responsibilities or disruptions. Living alone gives many older folks a level of flexibility they have never experienced before. Nobody else is telling you how to spend your time. There are no deadlines to adhere to, and no concessions to make. Although this newfound independence can be freeing, it can also provide difficulties. It's simple to lose track of time when there is no structure. Days or even hours can pass without any reason. Some people discover that they are unable to stay involved in life, sleep at strange hours, or watch too much TV. It's crucial to embrace flexibility while maintaining a satisfying habit because of this. Have you ever wished to take up gardening, learn a new language, or compose poetry? The time has come. You can pursue new interests while you live alone because no one will criticize your decisions. Consider Nancy, who is 72. While raising a family, she never had the leisure to pursue her lifelong ambition of painting. She now paints because she can at midnight. She claims that being awake when everything else is silent has a certain enchantment. At last, I can be creative on my own time. 2. For steadiness, create daily routines. If you don't have a routine because of work or family responsibilities, it's easy to feel disconnected. You may give your day structure and purpose by forming little, deliberate habits. Coffee ritual in the morning. Enjoy a leisurely, contemplative cup of tea or coffee to start your day, maybe while listening to birds on the porch. Movement in the afternoon. Keep your body moving with yoga, stretching, or a stroll around the neighborhood. Wind down in the evening, before going to bed. Reading, keeping a journal, or enjoying some relaxing music can all make you feel like the day is coming to an end. John, 78, called an old acquaintance for coffee in the morning. We check in every morning because we both live alone. Provides me with something to anticipate. 3. Embrace spontaneity. Among the pleasures of living alone, there is no one to answer to. Do you want to nap in the afternoon? Do it. Want to take a road trip at the last minute? Assemble your belongings. Nobody is stopping you. This is one of the nicest things of living alone, according to many older folks. I get to be totally selfish with my time for the first time, and I love it, says Robert, 76. Chapter 4. Make your own social life. Even while it's great to appreciate isolation, human connection is still crucial. Make an effort to plan activities with other people, join a local organization or group based on your interests, schedule regular community events, weekly lunches, standing social dates, or video conversations with your grandchildren. Try something different. A class, volunteer work, or a get-together with like-minded individuals. Isolation is not the goal of living alone. It has to do with freedom. And when you completely embrace it, each day turns into a chance to live your life as you see fit, at your own speed, and in a way that makes you happy. Loneliness is not solitude. It's a present. What if embracing solitude was more of an option than dreading it? For a lot of senior citizens, loneliness isn't the same as alone. Finding yourself again in ways you never had time for before is the goal. You may take your time, think, and develop in ways that feel incredibly satisfying when you are free from obligations and distractions. However, how can time spent alone be transformed from a means of isolation to one of enrichment? Chapter 1. Possessing solitude as a technique of self-discovery allows you to spend more time thinking about yourself. No interruptions, no outside sounds. You alone, examining your thoughts, fantasies, and recollections. Consider Barbara, who is 79. After relocating to her own apartment, she began journaling. I just wrote about my day at first, she explains. But as time went on, I noticed that I was thinking back on my whole life. Things I hadn't considered in years came back to me. Journaling evolved into a means of developing a closer relationship with herself. Chapter 2. Using silent time to recharge. Being by yourself doesn't have to mean doing nothing. It entails living in the small moments. Sipping tea quietly while genuinely tasting and enjoying it. Observing the sunrise from the porch. Breathing deeply and expressing thankfulness for the coming day. For many older individuals, life feels richer than ever when they embrace these little moments. Chapter 3. Discovering joyful creative outlets. Living alone gives you the opportunity to pursue interests without fear of criticism. You can write, dance, perform music, or paint just for fun. In retirement, 76-year-old Margaret began to write poetry. She claims, I never shared my writing with anyone. I did it only for me. Additionally, it was among the most liberating things I have ever done. 4. Using reflection as a source of strength. Being alone allows you to process your feelings, let go of regrets from the past, and find contentment with your current situation. For many elders, spending time alone is beneficial. Forgive others and oneself for past transgressions. Honor their achievements without requiring approval from others. With the knowledge that each year brings new knowledge and experience, embrace aging with assurance. Chapter 5. Finding a balance between connection and solitude. Spending time alone does not equate to excluding others. In actuality, a lot of senior citizens discover that social interactions become even more significant when they are alone. They spend time with individuals who genuinely inspire them, carefully selecting their company. They value meaningful discussions above superficial banter. Knowing that they may enjoy relationships at their own speed makes them value them more. Journaling helped Barbara reconnect with folks she hadn't spoken to in years by encouraging her to write sincere, in-depth letters to old pals. I now value the people in my life much more as a result of being by myself. Conclusion. Embracing the beauty of your own company, although isolation is one of life's greatest gifts, many people are afraid of it. Provides you the room to recover, develop, and get to know yourself fully. And when you accept it, you come to understand that loneliness is not the same as being alone. It entails having freedom. How can one live joyfully and confidently alone? Living alone in your senior years can be both liberating and difficult, but it can also be incredibly rewarding if you handle it well. Here's how to make the most of it, remaining content, safe, and connected each and every day.
Chairno.
1. Keep in touch without feeling overburdened. Feeling alone is one of the main worries of living alone, but interacting with others doesn't have to be taxing or bothersome. Realistic steps. Establish a basic check-in procedure. It might be comforting to know that someone is checking in, whether it's through a quick phone contact with a loved one or a daily text to a friend. Participate in an online or local community. Book clubs, strolling groups, or even online get-togethers are enjoyable for many seniors. Plan social time like you would an appointment. To maintain relationships, schedule weekly coffee dates or lunch dates. For instance, after retiring, John, 79, missed his daily conversations with coworkers. He now makes it a point to call his former friends on Monday mornings to catch up and laugh, exactly like they used to at work. Make your home comfortable and safe. Having a safe home allows you to live freely without worrying about anything. Easy improvements that have a significant impact to reduce the risk of falls at night. Install motion sensor lights in restrooms and hallways. Make sure your emergency contacts are in plain sight. Put vital numbers on the refrigerator or next to the phone. Clear out locations that pose a risk. Get rid of any unsecured furniture or carpets that could cause trips and falls. For instance, last year Margaret, 82, suffered a minor fall. She now wears a smartwatch with a fall alert feature and has a cordless phone in every room. She feels more secure and self-sufficient than before. Chapter 3. Maintain your health and well-being every day. The secret to surviving when living alone is to keep yourself physically and psychologically healthy. Healthy routines to start now. Prepare meals in advance. Eating healthily is made easier by cooking big servings and freezing them. Drink plenty of water. As a reminder to drink more, place a water bottle in each room. Every day move, stretch, go for a little walk, or perform easy chair exercises to maintain your physical strength. For instance, 75-year-old Elena became aware that she was dehydrating. She now uses her phone to set alarms to remind her to drink plenty of water throughout the day. Chapter 4. Creating a sense of joy and purpose in daily life. One of the most important keys to succeeding on your own is to engage in joyful and meaningful activities. How to make your days happier. Choose a pastime you enjoy. Doing something for yourself, whether it's knitting, gardening, or picking up a new language, adds meaning to each day. Get a pet to keep you company. A fish, dog, or even a cat can provide routine and comfort. Accept your loneliness. Savor the liberty to live your days as you like, guilt-free. Nancy, 78, for instance, had long desired to play the piano but was never able to find the time. She has rekindled her passion for music and practices every evening now that she is living alone. 5. For peace of mind, make a strategy in advance. This will help you avoid worry later. Astute strategies for future readiness. Make an emergency plan. Think about getting a medical alert system and keep an extra key with a reliable friend. Go through the important papers. Keep all of your medical and legal documents in one convenient location. Consider living options for the long term. Having a plan facilitates changes, whether you're downsizing, staying in your house, or relocating closer to family. To help his family know exactly what to do in the event of an emergency, David, 80, made a future file with all of his critical paperwork. Last thought. Living alone presents opportunities. Living alone is more than just surviving. It's an opportunity to embrace independence, live your life as you see fit, and spend your days doing the things that bring you genuine joy. Which lesson about living alone have you learned? Post in the comments. There is more to living alone than just a way of life. It's a path of self-awareness, fortitude, and development. It's about enjoying your own company, establishing a schedule that suits you, and accepting the flexibility to live your life as you see fit. Yes, there are difficulties. Maintaining your house or keeping motivated can seem daunting at times, and there may be days when you feel lonely. In actuality, though, you have more control than you may realize. You can transform living alone into a profoundly satisfying experience by making minor adjustments, such as establishing a basic check-in system, discovering enjoyable pastimes, or designing a cozy and safe home environment. Which of these observations really struck a chord with you? Do you have any personal advice on how to succeed when living alone? Leave a comment with your ideas. I'd be interested in hearing your viewpoint and gaining knowledge from your experiences. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to like and subscribe for more helpful tips and motivation on living your best life at any age. Make the most of your journey because it is yours to design.